Hi there, I'm Sam Crannell, and today we're going to be cooking some boneless, skinless chicken breast with portobello mushrooms, shallot, garlic, thyme, spinach, some sherry cream, a little bit of heavy cream, black pepper, and some Parmesan. And so let's go ahead and get our pasta dropped and get this thing going in no time. So what we're going to do is, I've got my pot of boiling water. We're going to season our water, make it salty. I've got penne that's going to go with this dish tonight. You can use spaghetti, you can use fettuccine, you can use rigatoni. You can use just about any shape that you like or that you have in your cupboard. If you don't have chicken and you have pork, you can use pork for this dish tonight too. So I'm going to go with about half a box. Set my timer for 10 minutes. And let's get cooking. All right, so first things first, we got to take care of this boneless, skinless chicken breast. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and slice it just like so. So I'm going to take and just slice it into strips that are about a 1/4 inch thick. Just like so. So that's the size of the chicken, just like that. Let's go ahead and get this all rinsed up, cleaned off. Clean my knife. So I've got my spinach, it's all ready to go. My chicken is now ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and turn my pan on. My pan is going on high. So what else is going with this? We've got mushrooms. So let's grab our knife again here. Get that dried off. Move this out of the way. Move it a little bit closer. There we go, fantastic. So my mushrooms, we're just going to want to go down and just give them a nice little slice. Once again, this is about the size that we're looking for right here. That looks good, see, just like so. And you can use white button mushrooms, you can use chanterelles, you can use morels, you could use hedgehogs, you could use just about any mushroom that you can find, or whatever you have at home. This dish is very, very quick cooking. So again, just slicing up my mushrooms. Go. Just like so. Mushrooms are all good to go. They're done. So I've got my spinach, it's done. I've got my mushrooms, they're done. I've got my shallots right here. My pan is already on high, getting hot. We want it to get hot. So the shallots, once again, we're going to take the root end off of all of these guys here. Take the root end off. They're already peeled. And we want the shallot to show its beauty. So we're just, once again, going to just give it a French cut. Just like so, just right down. Take your time with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just like so. Get that off. Okay, so then my shallot is done. Next thing for the garlic, I'm going to take its little root end off. Just that little part there. Find a flat side, and we're just going to cut it as thin as we possibly can get it. So you're just cutting it paper thin, just as thin as you can possibly get it. So this is what we're looking for. And we just want to get it as thin as we possibly can. There might be a couple larger chunks in there, and that's okay. But you want to get it just about as thin as you possibly can. So there's my garlic, there's my shallot. And the last thing here, I have about a tablespoon of thyme. And I'm just going to give a rough chop to that. Run my knife over the top of it. Okay, so my thyme is ready to go. So I've got garlic, shallots, my thyme, I've got my spinach, I've got my mushrooms. I've got 5 minutes left on, and my pan is hot. So I'm going to pull it off heat. It's already smoking. I'm going to hit this with a knob of butter. Let the butter just melt down in to my pan just like so. It's already turning into brown butter because the pan's really hot, so I'm going to add a touch of olive oil to this. And in goes my chicken. Bring you over here. All right, so I've got my chicken in the pan. There's some brown butter going on in there. I'm going to add another little pat of butter. There we go, just like so. Okay, and now I've got a place right here where I'm going to throw my mushrooms. I've got my mushrooms cooking in here now. My pasta's got about 3-4 minutes left, about 4 minutes. Okay, and at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start my seasoning. So I'm going to add some salt to this dish. 2 nice pinches of salt. And quite a few turns of cracked black pepper. My chicken is starting to really come through and cook here. My mushrooms have got a nice sear on them. Okay, so here we go again. I'm pushing everything to one edge of that pan and letting that continue to cook. I'm going to take another tablespoon of butter, put that in, and this is where we're going to bring in our shallots. And let those start just sweating out. See, I've got this side of the pan, I've got my chicken and my mushrooms working, and then down here on the other side, I've got my shallots. They're beginning to work. And we just want to give them a little bit of time here. Make sure to get them sauteed up. I'm even moving my pan a little bit so that the backside isn't on total heat and it's just taking its time while I let my shallots cook. It's almost like just using 2 different surfaces. Once the shallots start to get a little translucent, just like they are here, this is really the stage right where we're going to add our garlic. So I'm going to push the shallots forward as well. And you guessed it, I'm going to add another little small amount of butter. Another pat. And in goes my thinly chopped garlic. We're just going to sweat that off in the butter here as well. All right, and once you start smelling that garlic, you know that it's cooking. We don't really want to get any color on it. Go ahead and give a flip here. All right, and this is where we're going to deglaze with about 2 ounces of cream sherry. Once we get the sherry in there, then we're going to add our thyme. And we're gonna let that sherry reduce down to about 1 ounce. And this is why the chicken's cut really thin, so it cooks really quickly. It's kind of sauteing, it's getting steamed a little bit. So we've got about 1 ounce of liquid, maybe a little more than 1 ounce of liquid left here in this pan. Everything's coming together really nicely. I'm gonna add in about 2 ounces of heavy cream. Make that 3 ounces of heavy cream. 3 ounces of heavy cream. All right, and we're gonna let this just cook itself down. My pasta is coming to being done, and that's actually gonna finish cooking in here. So you wanna take your pasta. This has been now 10 minutes. I'll drain my pasta off. And I've got my big pot here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this spinach, the cream, the whole mixture, and everything else here, and just add it directly in to this bigger pot here. From there, I'm going to put that back on heat, put it on low heat, this one off. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and add in my spinach. And we just want all of this to kind of wilt down. It'll take a second, but just keep stirring underneath, getting that spinach in there. Everything's cooking together here nicely. All right. So at this point in time, my spinach is wilted down. Got all my beautiful ingredients in there. From here, I'm going to add another pinch of salt. I'm going to add a little bit more cracked black pepper. And you can see how it's just coated everything really nicely. This is when we're going to check and see where the flavor profile is at. Make sure that it's got enough salt. That tastes absolutely fantastic. It's so rich. The thyme's in there. You got some cream in there. And this is where you're going to add some cheese. Oops. So go ahead and grate some Parmesan cheese into this. That's got me salivating. So I'm grating a good amount of cheese into there. And once again, we're just going to take and fold it in. Get it all nice and creamy and emulsified. All right, and it's ready to go to the plate. Get it here to the plate. Some beautiful penne pasta with spinach, cream, some Parmesan, some mushrooms. Smells absolutely fantastic. It's hearty, it's comforting, and it's got all those beautiful caramelized notes. Garlic's gonna come through. It's absolutely fantastic. I'll finish this with a little bit more Parmesan cheese. And there you have it. Boneless, skinless chicken breast with penne pasta, spinach, mushrooms, and sherry cream finished with some Parmesan cheese. From my home to yours and from my kitchen to yours, keep cooking with me. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and have a beautiful evening.